These are 7 footballers who experienced the most devastating thing a parent can ever go through, the loss of a child. Each of them have been through something that no trophy, no record, and no amount of football can ever heal. Stay with us until the end. Number 1, Cody Gakpo. This one is as raw as it gets. Just yesterday, on June 27, 2026, Cody Gakpo's partner Noah van der Bijl posted on social media to share the devastating news that the couple had lost their unborn son during pregnancy. The baby, who they named Elijah Raphael Gakpo, passed away before he could be born. Noah wrote, "With broken hearts, we share the devastating news that our baby boy passed away during pregnancy. Thank you for your love and support. Elijah Raphael Gakpo, forever loved, forever our son." What makes this moment even harder to process is that Gakpo is currently at this World Cup, representing the Netherlands. He scored twice against Sweden in the group stage, with his second goal making history as the 100th goal of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, a landmark moment for the tournament. And yet days later, the same man was dealing with news that no milestone or record could come close to touching. He has been one of the tournament's brightest players, and at some point between training sessions and matches in North America, he and Noah received news that no parent should ever have to receive. Gakpo posted on Instagram asking for privacy, writing, "This is an incredibly difficult time for our family. The entire football world has since sent its love, and right now, none of the football matters at all." Number 2, Cristiano Ronaldo. In April 2022, Cristiano Ronaldo and his partner Georgina Rodriguez announced that they were expecting twins, a boy and a girl. And then, on April 18, 2022, they shared the devastating news in a joint statement that stopped the entire football world. "It is with our deepest sadness we have to announce that our baby boy has passed away. Their baby girl, Bella Esmeralda, survived. Their baby boy did not. Ronaldo and Rodriguez did not share the cause of death. They did not have to explain anything. Their statement said everything that needed to be said. Our baby boy, you are our angel. We will always love you." At the time, Ronaldo was one of the most famous human beings on the planet, the most followed person on social media, a man whose every move was watched by hundreds of millions. And in that moment, none of it meant anything. He was just a father who had lost his son. He returned to football days later. The reception he received from Old Trafford that night is one of the most moving tributes football has ever produced. Number 3, Michael Ballack. For years, Michael Ballack said almost nothing publicly about what happened in the summer of 2021. The former Germany captain, one of the greatest midfielders of his generation, carried his grief quietly and privately. And then, earlier this year, March 2026, he finally spoke. In a documentary and a series of interviews, Ballack revealed the full story of how he lost his son Emilio, who was 18 years old. Emilio was riding a quad bike near the family's holiday home on the Troia Peninsula in Portugal. The bike was on uneven terrain, overturned, and fell on top of him. Emergency services tried to revive him at the scene. They could not. Emilio was pronounced dead that evening, a young man with his whole life ahead of him, a former Bayern Munich and Chelsea legend reduced to rubble. Ballack spoke about the grief in a way that was almost painful to listen to. Difficult, you can't imagine it, you can't even describe it in words. He paused for a long time before he said it. 5 years after losing Emilio, he is still learning how to carry it. He says he probably always will be. Number 4, Colin Cooper. The timing of this story is almost impossible to comprehend. On January 19, 2002, Colin Cooper played for Middlesbrough in a famous FA Cup third-round victory over Manchester United. It was a brilliant day for the club and the fans. Hours later, Cooper received news that his 2-year-old son Finley had choked on a small toy at home and could not be revived. Finley was pronounced dead that same evening. A father had gone from the high of one of the biggest results of his career to the lowest moment of his life within the same afternoon. Cooper later said he almost walked away from football entirely after losing Finley. He returned because the game gave him structure and purpose during the darkest chapter of his life. In 2006, he and his wife Julie founded the Finley Cooper Fund, a charity dedicated to raising money for children's causes in their son's name, a legacy of love built from unimaginable grief. Number 5, Brad Jones. This is the story of a man who had to find a way to keep going when everything inside him must have wanted to stop. Brad Jones was Liverpool's backup goalkeeper when his 6-year-old son Luca was diagnosed with leukemia in 2011. Liverpool gave Jones time away from the squad to be with his son. He refused to give up hope. Luca fought for 18 months. On November 18, 2011, Liverpool announced that Luka had lost his battle with leukemia, aged just 5. Liverpool's players wore black armbands in their next match against Chelsea. Jones's former teammates at Middlesbrough did the same. The game of football stopped to pay its respects to a little boy and his father. What made Jones's story even more remarkable was what happened months later. In April 2012, Jones came off the bench against Blackburn Rovers in a league match and saved a penalty. He pointed to the sky immediately after. Everybody in that stadium knew exactly who he was pointing to. Number 6. Gary Stevens. Gary Stevens was one of the most decorated players of his generation, a league title winner with Everton, 6 consecutive Scottish titles with Rangers, an England international at the 1986 World Cup, a man who had experienced everything football had to offer. And then, in 2021, at the age of 58, he faced something no trophy or medal could prepare him for. His 4-year-old son Jack was diagnosed with juvenile myelomonocytic leukemia, a rare form of blood cancer that affects young children. Stevens and his family, based in Australia, launched a desperate search for a stem cell donor. Everton opened their doors to swabbing events. The club made public appeals. Thousands of people came forward. Jack received stem cells from his older brother Oliver, but the procedure failed and Jack relapsed. On November 18, 2021, Everton announced that Jack had passed away. He was 4 years old. Stevens, the man who once lifted league trophies at Goodison Park, had to bury his youngest child. Football responded with complete love and solidarity, but some losses simply cannot be softened by anything. Number 7. Luis Enrique. There is no story on this list that captures the full weight of parental grief in football quite like this one. In March 2019, Luis Enrique stepped away from his role as Spain manager. He gave no reason publicly. For months, nobody truly knew why. And then in August 2019, he released a statement that explained everything. His 9-year-old daughter Xana had been fighting osteosarcoma, a rare and aggressive form of bone cancer. She had been diagnosed 5 months earlier. Luis Enrique had walked away from the biggest job of his career to be by her side. He resigned formally in June 2019. 2 months later, Xana passed away. His statement read, "We will miss you a lot, but we will remember you every day of our lives with the hope that we will see each other soon in the future. You will be the star that guides our family." He returned to management. He returned to Spain. He eventually became PSG manager and has since gone on to win back-to-back Champions League titles, becoming only the second manager in history to achieve that feat twice. A man who lost his daughter at 9 years old and carried her with him all the way to the pinnacle of club football. That is not just the most powerful story on this list, that is one of the most powerful stories in the history of the game. These are even losses that no achievement, no trophy, and no amount of football can ever address. If this video reminded you to hold the people closest to you a little tighter today, that is enough. Leave your thoughts in the comments, and if you are not subscribed yet, hit that button now and turn on the notification bell. We will see you in the next one.